What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and in this video we go behind the scenes and we decipher what exactly is required in order to get a Walmart store approved. And I think you're going to be surprised because there's one tip that I reveal on here, and it's somewhere in the middle or maybe the end of the video that really is the goods and the secret sauce, and that not a lot of people are looking at in order to get this approved. So you're gonna be super excited if you see the whole video. I'm fired up to be doing this video. So if you've ever wanted a Walmart store and you haven't had that approved, then watch right now, sit back, relax, and buckle up because we're about to take a bumpy ride. But at the end of this, you will have a Walmart store. So I'm super fired up. I hope you're fired up. Let's do this. All right, so I'm here at the application part for the Walmart Marketplace, and it's the request to sell application. You got to start the application and away you go. So let's talk about what's important here. First and foremost, you definitely got to have a W-9, right? You got to have a W-9. You got to put it up in there. You got to upload it, and you also have to upload your US EIN letter. So those are the first two things that you must have. The other thing that you have to have is a brand new LLC, and it doesn't necessarily have to be brand new. It could be any LLC that you have never applied at Walmart with. Now keep that in mind because I've seen several people get disapproved because of this simple mistake that they make. Make sure you've never used this LLC or attempted to use this LLC on Walmart, because if you do, it's an immediate disapproval. So those are the three things. Now, one other thing for sure. Okay, these three things are mandatory, and there's still some more mandatory things, but let me tell you what the important part is right here that you must know. Your address must match on all those things. So you've got to have that address on the EIN letter, you must have that address on the W-9, and you've got to have that address on anything else that you need to have that shows that it's your store. So the LLC, it's got to be on there. Everything's got to be the same address. Can that address be a virtual address? Yes, it can. Say you registered in the state of Wyoming and you've got an agent, a registered agent, and you're using that address, that's perfectly fine. Now, there's been a lot of debate on whether or not that is true, and yes, it can be a virtual address. We have had it passed several times. We have had it confirmed with Walmart. It can be a virtual address, so you're all set there. Now, at this point, you have about four things in place. You've got the EIN, you've got the LLC, you've got the W-9, and you've got the address, and they all match up, right? Those are the four core things. And again, making sure that they match up is essential. Now, the next thing that you're going to need is something called a DUNS number. And I've been asked so many things like, Liz, I don't even know what a DUNS number is. So I'm going to explain that to you here in a second. And I'm also going to show you where you get the DUNS number. So first off, a DUNS number is, and I'm going to lay this out the dummies way because this is the way that I best learn. Obviously, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed for everything. There's a lot of you out there that are much smarter than I am, but this is the layman's definition. If you want the technical definition and like, Liz, it's this quadrant of this X, Y, Z in the flex capacitor, I'm not going to be able to give you that shit. I'm giving you the layman's terms. In layman's terms, what a DUNS number is, it's the equivalent of what your social security means to you as a person. So the DUNS number is like the social security of business. It shows the world, it shows all creditors available in the business world what your credit score is. So if you've got a good credit score, then you probably understand this. If you've got a bad credit score, then shame on you. I understand you probably were a drunken idiot and crazy lunatic in college. Like all of us go through that, like at least some of us do. And I understand. But remember, this is almost like a fresh start. They're unaware if you have a bad credit score on your social security. This is a brand new fresh score for your business. So even if you got a bad credit score, it doesn't matter. You got a new DUNS number, and Walmart doesn't really care what your credit score is. They just want you to acquire this DUNS number for your business because it shows that your business is more legitimate. So to get the DUNS number, just Google Duns and Bradstreet and hit get a DUNS number. And if you want the technical definition, if you're like a nerd out there and you're like, Liz, your definition was not sufficient enough, I need a further definition of the DUNS number. Here you can just go there and you can read all the technical bullshit about it and all the technical jargon at your leisure. So I'm going to go to get a DUNS number, and here's all you got to do. You got to follow the step-by-step what they ask. Primary reason for the DUNS number, I have a US-based business. Fill all this in. And one last tip on the DUNS number. Okay, this is a gem of a tip. This tip alone is worth you watching the video. So congratulations that you made it this far. This is a gem of a tip. For the information that they ask, which will be on the secondary page, put that your business makes about $100,000, you have 2 to 3 employees, and your particular line of work is retail miscellaneous. So again, That's super important. But that's it. You'll fill this out. You'll be ready to go. And the last thing that you need on this to make you official, and this is super important, you do not need an Amazon URL profile. That's unnecessary, but you will need a legit Shopify store. So make sure you have a very nice Shopify store. You put some products in there. Everything looks good. You got a contact and about us. It's got a fully functional cart, everything. Make sure it looks like a site that people would shop on. That's it. That's all you got to do to get your Walmart store approved. Now, they will call you soon thereafter. It'll be like an 855 number. So make sure you answer your phone to weird numbers. Don't avoid it. Don't say like, oh shit, I don't know if this is my ex calling me, stalking me, anything like that. Make sure you answer it as professional as you can. They'll verify some of the information that you put on the application, and they'll make sure that you are you, and then they will approve the store. So don't decline that call. Make sure you grab that call, and that will be the final step in order to get your Walmart store approved. And again, this is fresh, hot off the presses. This is working as of right now, and I do predict that it'll work for quite some time because there's a lot of people that don't go through all those extra efforts. So that's it for this video. Again, let me know your questions in our comments below. I always personally answer them, and I'll see you next time.